In addition to scheme, in addition to effort, talent more than any other component wins football games. Welcome to the Voice of College Football. Please like the videos, share the videos out on social media, and subscribe. Catch the vision as we discuss, debate, and analyze college football each and every day with you. All right, for the 15th consecutive year, the SEC leads college football conferences in NFL draft picks. The SEC each and every year produces the best talent in regards to high school recruiting rankings. There is not a coincidence there. There is a definite connection between recruiting and signing the best high school talent, and then 3 to 4 years later, that talent producing on the field and parlaying that into NFL stardom. All right, again, 15 consecutive years the SEC with the most draft picks, and it's by a wide margin. For a second consecutive year, the SEC had over 60 NFL draft picks. They set a record in 2020's draft. In 2021, they came within one of their record. The SEC had 65 players drafted. The Big Ten was second for a second consecutive year, at least a second consecutive year. The Big Ten at number 2 with 43. The ACC right there at 42. As we run down the rest of the numbers, with the Pac-12 coming in fourth with 28, the Big 12 with no first-round draft picks had 22 overall. The American Conference set a personal record with 19, and then you see the rest of the list with most of the group of 5 falling in play right there. The Mountain West with a disappointing 3, and the Sun Belt last with also with 3. So that measures the mass volume of draft selections by each conference. But what about the quality? So the mass volume is important, but also the quality, because we know it's substantiated all the time that first-round selections are much more likely to become roster selections that stay on football teams, and more so impact players and stars and Hall of Famers than second-rounders. Second-rounders are much more likely than third-rounders and on down the line. There is a descending scale right there when it comes to success in the NFL versus the round selected. So that's the mass volume. What about the quality of the selections? Well, we assigned this scale as a point system to the selections of the NFL draft. It's a simple scale that makes total sense. We awarded 7 points for the first round selections, 6 to the second, 5 points to the third round selections, and on down the line. 4 points to the fourth, and 3 points to the fifth. Sixth rounders receive 2 points, and of course the seventh rounders 1 point. So in descending scale. So you get a similar story here with the SEC leading the way with 269 points, followed by the Big Ten, the ACC, the Pac-12, the Big 12 down there with 78 points, almost caught up by the American Conference with 65. And on down the line, followed by the MAC, Conference USA, and the Sun Belt Conference with the Mountain West with more quality selections than the Sun Belt. If we look at individual teams, as it stood, Ohio State and Alabama tied for the most draft picks with 10. But again, let's measure the quality in addition to the quantity of draft picks, because Alabama with 6 first-rounders, tying the record held by Miami's early 2000s team. So Alabama ties that record of 6. Alabama and Ohio State have generally had the best rosters in college football. Of course, Georgia's right there, as well as Clemson. They played in the national championship game last year. They have the highest winning percentage in college football over the last several years. And it's not surprising, again, that Alabama and Ohio State produced the most NFL draft picks with 10. Notre Dame and Georgia were just one behind at 9. Florida and Michigan with 8. LSU in the next spot there with 7. But we also applied our point system because Alabama produced a record-tying 6 first-round draft selections. Ohio State only had 1 this year, so Alabama had more quality. As we measure the quality, that's the quantity, tying for 10, but the quality measurement goes to Alabama, of course, with 58 points, Ohio State 45. Then you see Georgia just slipping past Notre Dame 40-39. Florida with an edge over Michigan, 35-32, and LSU at 26. A number of schools tied with 6 draft selections, and surprisingly, UCF was one of them with 6. The first group of 5 team that is on the list, followed by joined by Pitt, Kentucky, Penn State. Clemson with 5, joined by Stanford, North Carolina, USC, Texas, Missouri, Oklahoma, and BYU. All those schools had 5 NFL draft selections over the weekend, and you see the point total that, again, awards 7 for a first-round selection, 1 for a 7th-round selection, and on down the line. Other draft notes, once again, as we noted off the top, at least for a second consecutive year, the SEC and the Big Ten placed 1 and 2, with the SEC with a wide margin over the Big Ten for the most draft selections. The Big 12, no first-round selections. The ACC up in 2021 with 42 selections compared to just 27 the previous season. The American set a record with 19. And the record for draft selections in the season, again, Ohio State had 14 back in 2004, tied by the LSU championship team of 2019 that had 20 or 14 selections in the 2020 NFL draft. Those are our conclusions on the NFL draft. When you acquire the best talent out of high school, you then produce the best talent on the field and win the most games. And then, of course, you produce the most NFL draft picks. Yes, coaching matters. Effort matters. There are intangibles. Look at Wisconsin and formerly Michigan State when they were winning. You don't always have to have the best talent, but talent is the most important factor, no doubt. All right, let us know where we missed it and maybe some other factors that we may want to look at right here at the Voice of College Football. Please share the videos out on social media. If you enjoy the content, even if you don't agree with me, if you enjoy the discussion, the debate, and the analysis, please contribute as well. Venmo, PayPal, and Cash App, and share the videos out on social media right here at the Voice of College Football.